Hey, DJ.
Hey, Em.
And hello, listeners.
And welcome back to This, That, and Chit Chat.
A podcast.
That's strictly entertaining.
Different every time.
Been a few weeks.
Life, man.
Yeah, it's probably going to be this way for the next foreseeable future. I don't know if you heard, but Emily's getting married.
I am.
And I work in politics. So my life is terrible right now. And Emily's is fantastic. So
We're both busy just for opposite emotions.
Yeah, we can't quite nail down schedules. So, but we're here, and we have a great show. Lined up. We have a guest.
We do.
You
do.
Yeah, there she is.
We have our friend Amy on, and Amy is one of our best mutual friends and also one of our best listeners.
True in both counts.
True, loyal listener since the very beginning.
Yes.
In bits and spurts, if we're being really honest.
But you know what's going on. Yeah. That's what matters.
Amy is also here because she is one of the biggest Harry Potter fans we know. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say the biggest. I was thinking about introducing her.
I wouldn't say
I know. And we have a Jess in the listeners, and that would be... But we only have 3 mics, so...
We have to pick one Harry Potter fan. And Amy, years ago, planned the best murder mystery party that was Harry Potter themed. And at that phase in my life, I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Sure.
And I thought I was
But you
at a
rocked the
disadvantage.
costume.
I got my little pygmy puff because I was Ginny Weasley. But now I know. And Amy's been supportive of my Harry Potter journey. Amy's also supportive of my D&D journey.
Yeah.
Is Amy the
I
friend?
screamed in my car last time when she was talking about watching Dropout.
She's not the friend who recommended.
Okay.
Well, she's the friend who had told me about one show originally.
Okay.
And then I went and found the other one.
Okay.
So yeah,
Amazing. How fun.
so fun.
What? Anyway, so shall we get into Harry Potter?
We should.
We should. Shall we introduce our... I am a Hufflepuff,
Oh, interesting.
and my Patronus is a brown hair.
Okay. I have not taken the test since reading all of it.
Yeah.
But when I took it originally, I was Slytherin with a dolphin Patronus.
Oh, okay.
That's exciting.
I know. It's a random one.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
That checks out.
I knew
Yeah.
it.
That checks out.
Yeah. I don't like my Patronus, so I made up my own, and it's Nessie.
Okay. That
What was it?
A buffalo.
Oh.
Right?
Buffalo.
Like,
No, I don't love that.
no.
A buffalo or a bison?
I think it was a water buffalo.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Bison is like...
Kind of, meh.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say the quiz.
It's like there's a whole wide world of Patronuses available.
Yeah.
A quiz isn't gonna. In my soul, I know it's Nessie.
Yeah.
There's no
But
way it's
also,
not.
like, if you just change the one animal, because it's like, what animal would you have at Hogwarts? And there's like 40 types of owls you can choose from, 3 cats. You change that one question and it completely changes everything. And I'm like,
Oh, I took this so long ago, I don't even remember.
it's like, this
And
is
I read
even
a
legit
breakdown of
quiz.
somebody who did took the test thousands of times to break down the answers, and it's like apparently there's a specific pool that generates each time you take the test that you can pull from. So it's like when you're taking the test, you aren't drawing from the whole available.
Yeah, it's just that
Fascinating.
day.
Cool.
That time.
All the
Interesting.
more
Yeah.
reason
All
why I
right.
rejected
So
it.
Nessie.
Yeah, you can pick what you want.
All right. I love it.
What is your guys' favorite book?
6.
Okay.
7.
Okay, 4. That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
look at it.
Why?
Because I liked it.
4 was my favorite for a really long time. It's
Yeah.
just fun.
And
It's fun.
why is 6?
It's kind of the only time when Harry's truly happy, right?
Oh, sure.
And after 2 years without Quidditch, it's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he and Ginny are adorable.
Sure.
And there's the Felix whatever part that's so fun.
You also
His lucky
learn
day.
so much
Yeah.
about why stuff is happening.
Yeah, it's no longer mysteries are
Yeah.
occurring. It's solving the problems.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Fun. 7 has the most lore. I'm a
Yeah.
lore. I like lore. So
Can we talk
We
Harry
can.
Potter adjacent? Everyone's using the term lore now for their lives. Like
Oh,
people are
sure.
like, instead of like doing it for the gram, they're like, I'm doing it for the lore.
Sure.
Which is wild. I mean, it's fun.
I like that way more than for the gram.
I do too.
But I'm like, that just really popped out of nowhere.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't.
You should.
you should hear that.
I was about to say you should hang out with teens more often, but I don't hang out with teens. I just watch TikTok.
Yeah.
And you hang out with a lot of teens.
I teach teens. I do not hang out with
You
them.
spend
All of your best friends.
You hang out with teenagers every day, DJ.
I do see teenagers a lot, but in a professional capacity.
Yes.
A ecclesiastical capacity.
Oh,
Yeah.
look that one up in the dictionary.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
nice word.
Favorite characters?
The twins.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I love that, but I don't hear that
Interesting.
very often.
No.
I
They're
love
tall,
that.
ginger, funny men.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. I love that. Okay.
That's pretty good. Hagrid.
Oh.
Except I like Hagrid movie better than Hagrid books. Because Hagrid books, I'm like, you're really frustrating me. Like, you keep causing these problems for yourself.
You're kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, stop putting yourself in this situation.
Luna and Neville.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think to me, they are the heart of the books.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like what the magic of that first book is captured throughout the series by Luna and Neville. Of just
like that.
this magical place where everyone belongs. Yeah. Anyway. So,
Okay.
yeah. Favorite movie? Honestly, for me, it's one. Just because, like...
Yeah, it's
how
the
do you-
original.
how do you...
By nature of it being the shortest book, it's
Emily's like, I've seen it 1,000
I
times.
can't do one. I think 4 is one of the worst movies, which was so
100%.
sad to me because it was my favorite book.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think 3 might be my favorite movie. It's
I think
pretty good.
So as well.
Yeah.
3 is, sorry...
Isn't that
There's-
Sirius Black?
Jim. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Time Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good movie. That's when they brought in the first like big director,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I
Chris
also really
Columbus
love
is
6.
big, but
It's good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they get progressively better as the series go on, with 4 being the hiccup.
yeah. for
Like I
sure.
think the later movies are really good, but 4 you're like,
Have you ever
flat.
seen like a wildly compressed timeline that shows all the frames of all of the movies?
yeah, how
and it
dark
just
it
like goes from really colorful to
Too
black.
dark.
yeah,
Yeah.
so dark. Yeah.
It's true. The last movie is like black until the end,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's all light again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think would be your emphasis in school?
Probably potions.
Okay.
Mm.
I like that. I can't remember any of them.
I don't know. Transfiguration. That'd be dope.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
Okay. I would just be.
You just be a
There.
wizard.
I'd just be hanging out in the common room. I'd be the
Mine would be-
personality higher.
Mine
You
would be.
head girl for sure.
Oh wow! Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh no! You know what it would be? It'd be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Why?
Because I love animals.
Oh, I thought you were
That's
saying
a
that for
book.
me, and I was like,
No,
don't-
I know. I just couldn't think of what the name of the class was. Magical
Care of
husbandry.
Magical Creatures?
There we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Magical creatures. I think so. That'd be dope.
Can we talk about how I genuinely didn't know that Dumbledore died?
Until you read
like
the book.
before
Until
the
I read
books?
the book.
Okay.
That's
I had seen the scene in the movie. But I never watched the movies in order until recently.
Sure.
And I just thought that he could save himself. So I knew the scene of him falling. I just didn't remember that he didn't save himself.
Sure.
Because then in the last movie he's back. But it's like as a
Yeah.
vision.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I thought he was really bad.
Okay.
And guess what? He's actually dead.
It shows how much. Emily's
fully-
like, these
fully-
dang movies again? All right,
I'm like,
I'll
I can't
be
stand
here.
these movies. Yeah, he's
That's
actually
hysterical.
dead. A lot of people die, man.
A lot of people
For a little
die,
twerp.
including one of the twins.
Yeah, that one is sad.
Yeah.
Rip.
Who's your least favorite character?
Dumbridge.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if he's my least favorite character, but I think, like, most overrated character, and it's because of the movies, is Snape.
Yeah.
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah, Snape is...
Alan Rickman's the greatest
Totally.
ever.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he made a horrible, horrible character kind of endearing.
Yeah. Because Snape is like,
The worst.
there's just, J.K. like tried to save him, and no, he's terrible.
I mean, he had like his trauma and his reasons, sort of,
Totally.
for being bad to a degree, except
Totally.
that he was also just mean to kids. Like Neville.
Yeah.
He was just a cruel
Ruthlessly
person.
cruel to Neville, who is like this poor kid who's suffered and done nothing wrong ever.
Yeah.
And he mocks him. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
There's not a
Also-
good enough.
I'm sorry if anyone listening has this, but people who have like always tattoos and like romanticize the love story between Lily and Snape.
I didn't know that was a thing.
For stalker.
Yeah, back on like Tumblr days, they would be like always, and people think it's the most romantic thing in the world. I'm like, no, he's some creep who was mean to her back in high school. They were friends. He was a crappy friend, and then this all happened.
Got
I
butthurt
didn't-
when she didn't return his feelings.
And then terrorized her child forever.
Joined a murder group because he was mad at her. Like,
Yeah, but we're all supposed to be like, oh, he tried.
But he loved her.
He loved her.
Not
No.
good enough.
He's a bad guy.
I did not know that was a thing. That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really romanticize it.
Yeah.
They'd put it in like the Deathly Hallows shape.
Yeah.
Really?
And like in the middle of the circle was always.
Yeah. Or I've seen people who
You know,
have
I've
bumper
probably
stickers that
seen
say
that.
always with
The
like
Harry Potter font.
Yeah.
I've probably seen that and just thought it meant like I will always be a fan. Harry
No.
Potter forever.
no.
Okay, that's crazy.
And I will say, as someone who now likes Harry Potter, enjoys it, it's
Sure.
the best books I've read this year.
Yeah,
Harry Potter fans can be too much.
too much.
Like, rest in peace, Professor McGonagall. But if you are posting 10 stories on Instagram about let us all raise our wands today,
Oh, because do people know her death day or something?
well, no, because she just died.
Oh, you're talking actual.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Maggie Smith.
you can even like share a post about her, fine.
Totally.
But if you're like, ladies and gents, wizards, should we raise our wands? I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
know
a little
how
too
I
much.
found out that she died?
You raised your wand. You sensed something in your core. Your Patronus came to comfort you.
Hey,
No.
Naomi picks up her wand. It's like, whoa, something's different.
It feels off. No, my 14-year-old niece texted me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I trained you well.
she was like, Aunt Amy's gonna be beside herself today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter and I saw her name trending and I was like, no, don't let it be so. Because literally, like the day before, I had seen this video of her and Judi Dench, like just teasing each other, and it was hysterical. And then, next day, I'm like, Maggie Smith? Gone?
I was
She was
significantly more
She was
upset
very
when Alan Rickman died.
Yeah.
I was I was already depressed at the time, and then he died, and it was just like, not this too.
You're like, I spiraled even deeper. That's valid.
Yeah.
I think also a horrible character is Draco. I have some sympathy for him in the later books,
For sure.
but he really is a pain.
Totally.
He's a little brat.
Yeah.
I will never understand the Draco Hermione fan.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. I aggressively hate it.
I mean, that's totally movie based, right? Like it's
I think so.
based on, because he even brings that up in
Like Tom Felton and Emma Watson are buddies.
Yeah,
and
he brings that up in Emily or Lauren and I listened to his
audio, his biography thing,
which is terrible, by the way. It's so bad. He he doesn't want to make it about his time on Harry Potter, but like nothing else in his life is interesting.
Well, and also it's a huge formative part of his life.
Yeah. Anyway, but he does bring it up. He's like, I know you want me and Emma to be more than that, but we're not.
But I am in love with her, and I always will be, but not like that.
Yeah. So I think it just has to do with those two more than anything.
Did you read Manacled? Is that what it's called?
I've never heard of that.
It's like some fan fiction about him now.
About Tom Feldman?
No, about
Draco.
Draco.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you read it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
but
okay.
you're
Just
reading
the
another Tom
title.
Felton book. So
Oh,
raises
no.
my
This is actually this is written by and narrated by Tom Feldman.
okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, it was good.
I asked Chat GPT to give us other questions. Some
Sure.
of them are a little weird, but
Okay.
who would be the worst roommate to have? I think honestly, Harry. He's whine for the majority of it, and then he keeps getting people in trouble.
And so many people keep trying to like kill him that you would just sort of maybe be collateral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets so mad at anyone, like, anytime somebody looks at him and is like, maybe you're involved, he's like, how dare you? And I'm like, well, you kind of are at the root of every problem, buddy.
I think she would be the best, but also the worst is Luna.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's the sweetest, kindest, most wonderful
Totally.
character, but then also she's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, all the nargles and whatnot.
Yeah.
She's sort of like, huh?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
twins would be terrible.
Oh, they would just prank
Constantly
you.
blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your room smells. That'd be terrible.
Oh, I also
They would peer pressure you into being like a guinea pig from
Oh,
their
yeah.
weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also dislike the character, the short little guy in the movies, but he's the one who's kind of a traitor for
Peter Pettigrew.
no, ugh, gross, nastiest character of all time. He makes me
Yeah.
Such
sick.
a great portrayal.
No, he's supposed.
He's up there with the worst characters.
He is. He's supposed to. This guy's supposed to help with getting Harry to safety towards the end.
Oh, Mundungus?
Yes. Yeah, he makes
true?
me mad.
Okay, here's my question. Who is the best represented from book to movie, and who's the worst represented from book to movie?
I think Luna nails it.
I totally.
Yeah.
And McGonagall.
Yeah.
I do like Dumbledore's depiction. Oh, nope, sorry.
Second Dumbledore?
I don't
Yeah,
care.
which Dumbledore?
Second Dumbledore is the worst. I hate
Why?
him.
Wait.
I'll show you the quote.
Harry. Did you maybe put your name
Oh,
in the
that
Goblet
one.
of Fire?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good.
Well, and I don't honestly like. I've probably seen each of those movies maybe twice. They're not.
What?
What?
You've only seen the movies twice?
Maybe the first one I've seen like 4 or 5 times, but I honestly don't. They're not something I rewatch.
Oh my goodness.
fascinating.
First and second,
I
maybe
swear I've
I've
seen
seen one.
the first one with you like 3
No,
times.
probably, because
Okay.
I've been with people. Let's do a Harry Potter marathon, and then we watch the
And
first
they
one.
only watched the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah.
But they're not super rewatchable for me. So I don't actually know, aside from that terrible Goblet of Fire scene, how bad he was compared to the books. But like he famously like didn't read the books, and that's like super frustrating. Anyway,
I think he's just really good at playing an old guy, so guess not. Who do you think is good or bad?
Good, I think Luna and McGonagall. Bad, sort of Snape, because it's like he's
Yeah.
just not true to the awfulness of the book.
right?
So it's like a bad translation, but a well done portrayal. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't like second Dumbledore. First Dumbledore I thought was good.
Yeah.
Had sort of the quiet gentility. But then also, I don't love Dumbledore that much as a character post the whole series, because it's like you were grooming the kid from being a child to kill himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
That's valid.
Because he knew what had to happen.
Yeah, and I feel like first Dumbledore was too sweet to have
Done that.
done that.
Yeah. First Dumbledore also didn't capture like Dumbledore's like weird wizard whimsy side, right? Anyway, it's hard to capture that character.
And this isn't necessarily a character, but Ginny and Harry, their vibes sucked in the movies.
Yeah.
Just the character, both of them individually great actors,
Totally.
separately good portrayals,
Not
together
good chemistry.
bombed.
No. Yeah.
Well, and it's just the things that they choose to keep in the movies and keep out of the movies. As someone who watched them before ever reading them, they did not make sense. But you just are kind of like, whatever. Like, there's nothing about Barty Crouch really in the movie until the end when they're like, the whole time it's been Barty. And you're like, who is he? I don't know. Cool. Great. And I'm like, you should have made that 2 parts. Like, if you were willing to make some movies 2 parts, just make all of them smaller.
The
Because
2-part trend didn't hit until
I know.
Yeah.
The
later.
end. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
rough.
Again, not a bad portrayal. I think this was for sure the fault of writing. Ron's character was assassinated in the movies. So many of his like smart, clever ideas and lines he had in the books, and they gave them to Hermione in the
Yeah.
movies, and that was disappointing.
It was semi-purposeful though, because both J.K. and the writer of at least the first couple movies like thought Hermione was the most important character to like
Develop.
get right. Yeah. So,
Oh,
but I don't like Ron in the books either, and I don't like him in the movies. So, you know, it's a different portrayal, but it's bad either way, and I'm fine with it.
I love him. I had a huge crush on Rupert Grint.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
him being so whiny when they're trying to find the Horcruxes. Ugh, too much for me.
Yeah, he's super whiny.
Ew, and then the scene of Harry and Hermione dancing in the tent
Yeah,
makes me cringe.
sure. Them talking about that was pretty cool.
What do they talk about?
They said something like we needed it to feel like in that moment, like we could, like it could, something could have happened. So they tried to be really true to it.
Okay.
Anyway, good stuff.
Is there anything redeemable about the Dursleys?
Vernon, no.
There's something redeemable. Like they kept
yeah.
him, right? They took
Yeah.
him in.
Well, yeah, they didn't. She knew the promise, right?
Yeah,
But like, I think Vernon would have kicked him out immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
I do wish there was more shown in the movie of Dudley and Harry, like towards the end when they didn't get along,
I don't think
but they
you're a
respect.
waste of space.
Yeah, like that's so sweet.
Yeah, like Dudley is a product of how he was raised.
Yeah.
And then once he does come into adulthood, it's like he does sort of flip the page. And so I think that definitely redeemable for him. Petunia is just an interesting character. Like the more you get to know about her in the latter books, it's like all of her hatred to Harry is like jealousy of being non-magical.
Yeah.
Like she was really jealous that Lily had this special experience and she was left out. And so it's like, then you sort of get it. Vernon, it's just like, he sucks.
Yeah, you're just angry for what?
You just hate everything and everyone because you suck.
Another character I don't feel like they depicted as well in the movies is Dobby. Because I could not stand Dobby just watching the movies. Him with that cake scene.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, pop that little elf head right off. But then in the book, you're like, there's so much more that you love about him.
Yeah, I was in love with Dobby as a kid. I just thought he was the coolest.
I cried when he died, like
Absolutely.
in the books. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sad.
Yeah. And I feel like they did do him justice in his death, right? Because
Yeah.
you may
But
not,
again, you don't care about it if you haven't read the books.
if you haven't read the books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably true.
You're just like this weird CGI character.
Who's really annoying and pops and just causes problems.
Yeah.
But I think most of the Death Eaters, I remember them being like so creepy to me when I was growing up. Like Bellatrix. Gross.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you read The Cursed Child or seen it? Or any of
No. I would maybe see it. I've heard it's freaking long, right?
Well, now they've shortened it into one. And
Okay.
I think it's like 3.5 hours, which is still long.
Yeah.
But it's not you doing two separate plays.
Right.
So yeah.
it? It was 2 plays.
Yeah.
It used to be 2 plays, and people would see the first part
That's
for a
bold.
matinee and then the second part that evening. Like they
That
weren't
is
even
bold.
like with an intermission. They were each like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Woof.
No, I did you read it?
No.
I like reading a screenplay or whatever, a play doesn't.
I just feel like it's glorified fan fiction a little bit. And then I have heard specifically one thing that I'm like, I can't ever get behind that being canon. Like that Voldemort has a kid
Oh.
with Bellatrix. And that's wild.
That's wild. Because I don't think Voldemort had any interest in anything other than completely taking over the world. Like he wasn't like, I should have a child.
She
like,
looks nice
yeah,
today.
she's cute. Look at the weirdie. Jess did see it, and she said the storyline isn't great, but the stage production
what I've
magic is amazing.
I
bet.
So it's like reading it. What's the point?
Yeah. I agree.
I haven't seen all of them. What are your guys' opinions on the Fantastic Beast movies?
The first one, I loved. Have there been 2 since then? The last one was terrible. I think the second one was probably fine, if I remember correctly. Meaning, like, not good, but not bad. The last one was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want I wanted to love it so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like they nailed the core four of Newt and then his buddies.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to just be a story about him and creatures. And then it was about politics. And it was like, we already live in too much politics. I can't take this in my entertainment as well. And also, it's not done well. It's not interesting.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And so it was like the parts of the first movie that were just Newt trying to corral these creatures in New York City. Loved it. So here for it. The New York baker was adorable.
Totally.
The two American girls, loved them. And then those like the latter two movies just leaned way more into the politics and whatnot of Grindelwald. And I was like, who cares?
Yeah. Where does Harry Potter fit? So Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. What's the ranking of those three? I bet I can.
Books or movies?
Just fandoms.
Okay.
Star Wars is at the bottom.
I think that's for all of us.
I think just based on like my lifetime of love, Harry Potter is number 1 and Lord of the Rings is 2. But man, those movies are unbeatable.
Yeah.
Those Lord of the Rings movies are incredible.
Yeah.
I think Lord of the Rings edges out Harry just a little bit. I'm like, I love the books of Harry in my heart more. But the Lord of the Rings movies, I rewatch annually, extended. So it's like a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
I haven't ever read the books, and I really much want to, but the lore, I'm familiar with the lore and whatnot of Lord of the Rings, and that is so well planned and thought and rich. Where it's like Harry Potter is a phenomenal story, but Lord of the Rings is a universe
Yeah.
Yeah.
of stories that are all impeccable.
Well, and sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, Harry Potter, J.K. like stumbled into something magical, but it's like not even internally consistent. But but it is just, I mean, it's amazing. You read that first book and you are like, holy crap. And it just continues. It can hold you. But like, it is flawed and not internally consistent, right? But then, yeah, what J.R.R. Tolkien, right? Like, holy crap. Like, had thought about this probably his whole life. And
Invented
then he's,
languages,
Yeah.
came up with books and books of histories of lore for this fake world that he created. Like,
yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
I was going to say we should read Lord of the Rings together.
I'm so in.
I wanted to read them, but it's a commitment.
It is. At the beginning of COVID, my roommate was home all the time and bored out of her mind. And so she was bored enough to, she started reading them out loud to me.
Oh.
And unfortunately started doing it like at night, and I would fall asleep every time. And we made it to the Tom Bombadil chapters, which are like infamously the hardest
Where people
bit
lose
of
it.
all of the books to get through.
Yeah.
And then we just stopped. So I very much
Yeah.
want to.
I might try those. Okay. Any other Harry Potter things? No? Any thoughts? Okay. DJ, do you have a rant?
I have a rant. My rant. Oh, here's my rant.
Oh, he's angry, guys.
No, honestly, right? Like I said, all I do is work these days. Screens. I have headaches every night. I just hate screens. I hate them. I hate that our world revolves around screens.
Question.
Yes.
When you're done with work,
Yeah.
what
I turn on another screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go from
But that's
middle
a fun screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
middle screen and yeah.
Yeah. It's a
No,
little
I
bit
get that,
further
though.
away, though. But yeah, no, for sure. It's hard.
But it's like when you're so done, you don't want to do anything that requires any brain power.
No.
And so that means
Another
screens.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, yeah, I hate them.
I'm sorry.
What's your rant, Amy?
My rant is stories that are cut off with cliffhangers and never return, like mostly TV shows.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
I'm like, if your show's canceled and it doesn't get renewed within 2 years, by contract or law,
You should have to
be
say-
obligated to release just a one-page written.
Yeah.
This is where the story's going to
Ooh,
go. Let me
I
wrap up
love
some
that.
ties for you.
Yeah.
What's a show that has done this to you recently?
Glad you asked. Colony, not recent, 5 or more-ish years ago, but it was a show on, I forget what network, but I loved it. It was 3 seasons, and it's a wild show and so many mysteries, and it finally started to get to where like you understand what's happening and
Yeah.
there's progress happening, and then it got canceled, and I'm like, whoa, I need all the answers. You were just barely explaining
Yeah,
things.
that is frustrating.
Yeah.
That's a good rant. My rant is this dang squirrel that every morning, I don't know if it's storing nuts in my wall or if it's just scraping my wall, but every morning from like 7 to 8:30 at some point he starts going to town outside of my bedroom.
Oh, you've talked about him before.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
And I have to get out of bed like a nut job and slam on the wall till he goes away. And it's only in the morning, and it drives me insane.
Yeah.
What time in the morning?
Before my alarm.
Okay.
So sometimes on the weekends it's like 9, and I'm like, I'm trying to sleep in, which I rarely can do.
Yeah.
But he's just always there.
Yeah.
And I see him scamper down that little tree, and I can't stand him.
That's great. Here's my rec.
Thanks.
So, I may have... No, this is my new rec.
Okay.
If you have a dog and you want to cut their nails, but they don't agree with you, we had the same problem. And Lauren said, we should get... She said, what are those things called that you put your hands through and people would throw fruit at you? And I was like, stocks? And she's like, yes, we need a stocks for dogs. And we looked it up.
That's an amazing description for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not the first people to have thought that. There are many, many, many on Amazon. So we bought one and it worked great.
Okay.
I was able to cut my dog's nails. She didn't fuss. She did a little, but we got through it. Yeah, worked great. So if you have a dog and their nails are hard to cut, but you don't want to pay the vet or groomer to do it for you, might I interest you in I forget what I searched on Amazon, pet grooming hammock or something like that. Anyway, they're awesome.
You didn't Google stocks?
Stock for dogs.
Dog stocks.
Yeah. Anyway.
How do you cut Copa's nails?
She just sits there and lets me do it. Bless her heart. I have like clipped the quick too. She doesn't even flinch.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's because Dorothy, the first time I was doing it, she like didn't like it, but was kind of letting me, and I hit the quick, and so now she doesn't let me at all.
Yeah, I think it's because when Copa was a puppy, I would groom her, I would get really frustrated, like, just hold still, I don't want to, like, cut your eye or something. Like, I would be really stressed and anxious, and I think she just took
just
that
learned.
and became very still.
That's valid. What's your rec, Amy?
My rec is listening to albums all the way through. Listening to entire albums.
I've gotten to start doing that.
Is this coming off of the release of Coldplay's new album?
A little bit, yeah. That's what made me think of it today.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one's so good. Another one I love lately is Maggie Rogers had a new album this summer.
I didn't know that.
Amazing. I think it's going to be my most listened to
Sure.
album of the year.
Okay.
Move over, Leon. That's usually Amy's top.
Because she hasn't released anything this year, and I'm aching for it.
Okay. Listen through it. Listen to the album all the way through.
I agree. I endorse this recommendation.
Yeah, I've come around to it. But my rec is this last season of The Circle on Netflix.
I started watching today.
It is such a good season of gameplay. I don't love any of the characters as much as previous season, and it's not catty gameplay, but it's just good gameplay. So if you've never watched a season before, or maybe you lost interest, watch this last one. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the first episode, so I can't comment, but
Let me know.
I will. Next time we record, we should talk about it.
Okay.
My random question. It's a two-parter. One, did you guys know you can buy Chick-fil-A sauce from Chick-fil-A? Like the bottle?
Yeah. You can also buy it from Walmart.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, well,
Target.
I knew you could buy it in stores, but you can do it like...
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're like doing Chick-fil-A order and you're like, they never give me enough Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
Well, that's number one. Number two, so the second part is what other restaurant should sell...
Cafe Rio.
Oh, yeah.
Does Cafe Rio have a special sauce?
Their dressing, their tomatillo.
Oh, yes. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, great one. Mine is clearly Taco Bell mild sauce.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the green sauce from Taco Bell?
Great. I hate that it's 20 cents. I never get it,
Yeah.
but it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
McDonald's honey mustard sauce.
Oh.
Most fast food restaurants can't do honey mustard well.
Yeah.
But I like theirs.
Are most too mustardy or too honey?
They're just like flat all around.
Oh,
It's
okay.
either not thick enough, and McDonald's could be thicker, but
Okay. Okay. Great. But they're
actually, no, I'll change that. If it's not fast food, I would say Texas Roadhouse honey mustard.
Oh, okay. They got the best honey
Chicken
mustard.
critters, so good.
Okay. Great.
If you could live in any fictional world
Oh,
Oh.
or any literary world,
Oh.
so like historical fiction tracks as well.
It's got to be somewhere. So here's my thought, and I don't know where it applies to this, but it's got to be somewhere where there's magic, but that the magic is universally accessible. And I don't know what that is, because I don't want to like go to a magical world and be a muggle, right?
yeah.
That sounds miserable. So I want to go to a magical world and be able to access the magic. So
Can I be specific and say Hobbiton? Like, I don't want to be in the Lord of the Rings world because I don't want to deal with an orc. Like, I don't care. But I'm like, but the Hobbits seem to have a really good life.
Yeah, they had it down.
Yeah.
What would you do?
The Shire, I think, is where I was leaning as
Yeah.
well. Or, I mean, I haven't read Brandon Sanderson, but I imagine maybe one of those. There's magic, and they seem pretty cool.
There's, yeah.
That's a good one.
The world of the Way of Kings, the magic is kind of universal because you have to bond to this, like, I don't even know how to describe it, this, like, personification of the idea of deity. Anyway, but you can do that by being a certain type of person, so it's somewhat universal. So that might be appealing to me as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is, what is one movie you wish you could see for the first time ever again, but in theaters? For example, mine, I think, and it's just because I'm watching a lot of spooky movies right now, would be The Village. The
Ooh.
twist at the end of The Village
That movie's so
So good.
got me so good, and imagine watching it with everyone for the first time.
Yeah. Especially with, if you could watch The Village with the movie culture of 2019,
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
What is the movie culture of
It
2019?
was like
That's so
we finally
specific.
had embraced, like, I remember 2018, 2019, it was Avengers, right? But, like, I feel like multiple
yeah.
movies where you're in the theater and people, like, cry and clap and shout, and, like, it
There's
was
a collective.
semi-interactive. Like, you felt like everyone was, like, experiencing something together, but, like, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. I think, like, the collective gasp at that plot
Yeah.
twist would have been fun.
Would have been very cool. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, it's so generic, but it's probably The Godfather. To have been able to experience that for the first time in theaters would have been cool.
Okay.
Or maybe The Sixth Sense.
Still never
I've
seen
never
it.
seen that.
Look at us go.
Probably Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. that would be
Yeah.
fun. I just,
Just
watched
to
the extended
re-experience the
versions.
magic of that for the first
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I just
didn't-
went and saw them in theaters this year, and it was really fun.
I saw them, this was like a decade ago, but at Wolf Trap, I think it was Two Towers maybe, it was one of them, with the NSO live accompanying.
That's cool.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah. Yeah. Cool.
We have some questions that we ask our guests.
Yes. That we remember too.
We remember to do
Yep.
it every time.
Yep.
You both do.
Uh-huh.
Vividly.
What year of the blank would be the easiest for you to accomplish?
Oh, I mean,
You crushed Year of the Taco.
I crushed your taco. Donut was also pretty dang easy. Do you have the taco? Or
Okay.
maybe you're the pizza? I mean, pizzas are significantly bigger.
Yeah.
Year of the Crystalite. Amy could kill.
I would just demolish that.
Yeah, she could do it. Okay. If you could compete on any reality show, what would it be?
I used to say Survivor, and there's just not even a chance I could stomach it for like 2 days. Amazing Race, I think I would kill.
You would be good at that.
Yeah.
And it would also be just a delight.
So
Who would
fun.
be your partner?
Ideally, my dad. I
Okay.
think he's the coolest. I've also tried to talk Rachel into it. There's
Yeah.
not a chance she would ever agree. So I don't know.
I think you and Rachel could win
I 100%
together.
agree.
Yeah.
I floated the idea of like legitimately applying once, and she stone cold was like, absolutely not.
Suck it up, Rachel. Amy needs you to join this.
Yeah.
What is the biggest or best piece of advice you would give somebody?
I mean, there's a million cliches about it, but if you never try, you never know.
Love that. That's
Beautiful.
a good one.
The regret of what if is way worse than like trying and failing.
Totally.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's deep.
And then on a deep note.
And I'm going to have to think about that as I drive home.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take one out of me.
Hey, you took that. Yeah, you've been talking about that for like 2 years.
Yeah, I believe in the risky text. I
Yeah.
believe
Heck
in
yeah.
why not.
Yeah.
Sucks for a little bit if it doesn't work out, but in
Yeah.
the end.
But
Yeah.
then you know, and you tried and you did the best you could.
And the confidence that comes with doing something scary, even if it doesn't pan out, you're like, wait a minute.
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on.
thanks for
Been
being
a
Thanks
long
for
time
having me.
coming.
Yeah, happy to have you.
Listeners, who knows when we'll see you again? Who knows when this episode will come out? Honestly,
It'll come out when it
probably
comes out.
Saturday. That's when I have time
All right.
these days. But we'll see you.
Yeah. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye.